Hello and welcome to the channel. My name's ESG and today we're going to be playing Hearts of Iron 4 Germany, and I'm going to show you how I like to do North Africa. So this is going to be a step-by-step guide showing you everything that you need to know to win North Africa as Germany. As you can see, we have already conquered Poland and France, and now I have Rommel crossing to North Africa. So the first thing I want to show you is the tank template. So we've got a 30 width with truck, and what we're doing here is we're trying to keep the supply use on the lower side. Here's the tank featuring the improved medium howitzer, and that's going to give us the soft attack that we need. The other thing about this tank is we have a very high breakthrough with decent armor, and the tank production cost is not that high. And we're only bringing 4 tank divisions across to North Africa because supply is quite the issue. The next thing that you need to know is how to build up North Africa. As you can see here, I have rails to a level of 5 along the coastline. I have also built ports on either end of North Africa, and we're going to build ports and rails both directions as we go. So we have mountaineers in this army, and the mountaineers are going to go west, while the infantry and 2 of the tanks will go east. The one thing I forgot to do was to build up the airports, so let's make sure that we do that. Green air and range on your fighters is going to be very important for North Africa. I'll show you the fighter build in a little bit. Okay, and our mountaineers are across. We're just going to draw a battle plan here, and they're going to hold this side of North Africa. We could actually build rails down here as well. The more supply that we have, the better that we're going to do. So I'm going to take 2 tanks, put them on this port over here. We'll take the vanilla infantry and put them in Tobruk. We'll place them there with the other 2 tanks. Now, it's a good idea to cover up all the ports because the goofy Italian AI doesn't always cover up all the ports, but we're just going to YOLO it and speed across and see how far we can get. We'll start by going east first. Okay, our tanks have arrived in the east. Now let's take the port back that Italy lost. We're going to go to Marsa Matruth and then make a big encirclement here. So I'm going to move the infantry up as we slam in here. Okay, so I'm going to take this airport here, get that out of the way, and it looks like we should get Alexandria. Once we get Alexandria, we'll be good because we will have all the supply we'll need. And now that we have the airport there, let's just move in the air. So we'll encircle with the tanks, and we can pin with the infantry. Taking the second airport will be critical. So at this point, we're getting close to Iraq. Iraq is going to give you around 20 oil, so we're going to justify a war goal on Iraq. Okay, we can also put up the rest of the air, complete the railroad, and we shouldn't need this port right here, so I'm just going to take that off. And if you're feeling frisky, you could go from both sides at the same time. It really does make it a lot easier. It's a little trickier, though, because you do have to pause and go back and forth. Okay, and it looks like Italy actually took out the rest of Greece, so that's great. I've even seen them take Malta as well. It's pretty crazy. Okay, that's Port Said, and I think we went so fast that I don't even think that there's units over here in eastern North Africa. We'll see. I'm just going to have this guy garrison the Suez, and the Italian AI should go down the Nile and try to save Ethiopia. Okay, we're doing well out east, and as soon as you're able to pop an airport in here, it's nice to have an airport. Doesn't look like we could do that yet, and it looks like the Italian AI is good, so I'm just gonna have this guy march up this way. So try to make encirclements as you go, and it looks like we completed the encirclement over here, so that's great. And I'll just battle plan Rommel, try to get in as far as we can. If we could rush this real quick and get the port up here at Tunisia, that would be great. Of course, building rails as we go, and bring in as many rails as you can. Kind of a short period of time, but bring them in over to Iraq. Just like 1 rail will do, out towards that direction. Okay, be careful in this area. This is mountains. You don't want to grind too hard in here. You're going to suffer a lot of attrition. And we got the airport so we can bring the air over. So we're making some tasty encirclements over here in the west, and there should be another 2 over there. And so we fast rushed this fast enough to where we didn't have to cover the ports. It looks like the AI now kind of chooses to cover ports, so that's nice. Okay, we have the war goal against Iraq. Looks like we have most of the rails in. We're going to be out of supply as we cross the desert here. There's not really any avoiding that. Just want to make sure that we have as much air as possible over here, and we'll declare war. So the thing that you need to do is call to arms Italy. Okay, so we'll have Italy join in and then immediately start attacking. The tanks are just going to go straight south towards Kuwait, with the infantry kind of screening as we go along here. All right, and here's the fighter build that we'll be using. 3-4 times heavy machine guns, engine 3, armor plate, self-sealing fuel tanks, and 1 extra fuel tank. And that'll give us a range of about 1,100 kilometers. Now, you get the range from the MIO. I'm a bit behind on the MIO because I used Messerschmitt for early war. I didn't think I was going for North Africa, but so many people wanted this build that I've already completed Barbarossa and I'm coming back to it just to show you guys how to do North Africa. So the way you build Focke-Wulf is you go left side for long range fighters, range 15%. So you pick that up right away. Then you'll go left mid and you'll get all small and carrier airplanes, 10% range. And then I also get another 5 here from long nose design. And after that, let me switch this. We're going to go for another 10% range. We're going to go another 10% range with low drag wings. And so we should end up around 1,200 kilometers of range. And that's going to be quite good because we can cover these large areas, and we're going to be transitioning into Barbarossa soon. So it'll be very good on the Eastern Steppe as well. Okay, so moving along here, we kind of need to move into Baghdad as quickly as possible. I stay on the southern half of the river. And then once we get the port at Kuwait, you're pretty much good. And let's see how we're doing in the west. So we got to keep pushing, get that port, get the airport. So we're going to do a bit of snaking in the west before the Allies show up. And it might even be best to convoy raid like right here as well, because they're going to be shuffling troops through Gibraltar. Okay, and when the AI decrypts their ciphers, you know you're doing something good. All right, Italy decided to show up, so that'll help out. And then we have an airport over here. So if you feel like you're not doing as well in an area, 90% of the time it's because you don't have enough air up. Okay, we'll go to Casablanca. Once we have Casablanca, the Allies should get no supply, and it'll be easy from there. All right, and Iraq capped. So as you can see, that's going to be about 21 oil for Italy, so that'll keep their navy going. And note that the Allies will naval invade these 2 ports right here. I don't like putting a lot of resources into North Africa, so I like to hold the Alexandria area over here. And I'll put my 3 infantry on Suez, Port Said, and Alexandria and just kind of hold there. And then we can put the tanks in Alexandria in case there's a landing somewhere. So the tanks in the mountains aren't that great of an idea, but it's against the AI, so we're just going to roll with it. And of course, once you get the airport, bring the air in. All right, there's Casablanca, and as you can see, the Allies in this area have 0 supply. So it's pretty much game over. We'll just do a mopping up operation. All right, and voila, we did it. So that is a complete North Africa right there. It looks like Italy should be able to snake down the Horn, but if you want to reinforce with more units, you can. As you can see, we have plenty of good supply up here. So I like to hold these 3 tiles right here. Oh no. Looks like they did land, but I could just take some tanks down and take that out. I don't know why they'd land if they don't even have North Africa. That doesn't make sense. So that's going to do it for this episode, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, if you learned something, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.